Tia, hold it.
Yeah, one's Tia. Sorry. Tia's not. 16th board meeting to order. Roll call.
Mrs. Nazario.
Here.
Mr. Ferguson.
Here.
Dr. Ballard. Mrs. Washington.
Here.
Mr. Sturgill.
Here.
Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Hawthorne.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I get the pleasure of introducing Principal Extraordinaire Toy Shorts and the students, and I believe additional staff that are here to not only lead us in the pledge, but talk about some of the cool things that are going on. I would like to spotlight also their focused efforts on getting every student to school every day. They've made tremendous cuts in chronic absenteeism from this time last year to this time this year, and we're going to get a little glimpse into some of the reasons why. So at this point, Ms. Toy Shorts.
Hello, everybody. Again, I am Toy Shorts. Excuse me, baby. Got my butt all in his face. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about dance and attendance.
Can we do the pledge first with
Yeah.
them? Can they lead us in the pledge first? Yeah. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
All right. So last year, our building was selected to pilot preschool. So it was just a few buildings. Our students absolutely loved it. So this year, dance is at every building for preschool, right?
Yep.
So we have Miss Regina Wolf. She is our dance instructor. She's going to just talk a little bit about that program.
All right. Hi. Is this on? I actually don't know. Oh, it's on. Okay. Hi. So I am Regina. I'm actually the dance and theater instructor now. So the first 9 weeks was dance. The second 9 weeks is theater. The first 9 weeks involved. The first few weeks were line dancing. So I taught preschoolers how to do the cha-cha slide. Yeah, I taught them how to do a dance circle, which can be really stressful. I taught them moves like raise the roof. You know, they know how to do stanky leg if you ask them. It's super big. And then we did a performance, though that involved like the salsa. So we have props and stuff. We have a budget and everything. Super fun. But we have the salsa. We had ballet, tap, jazz. We really introduced them to everything I could even think of in terms of dance. And then we had a final performance, which was really exciting. All the parents were able to come. I don't know how many schools are involved, 14?
Yeah, all 10 of ours, and then we have 5 community-based providers as well.
That's right.
Yep.
So it's been super, super, super fun. And then the next 9 weeks were theater. So we're in the middle of theater right now. We're putting on a show called Pete the Cat, Scuba Cat. They're all playing different sea creatures, which is really exciting, really fun. We got auditions happened, which was literally asking students to puff their cheeks as well as they could to be a pufferfish, and also who could wave their arms and snap their hands to be crabs and wave their arms to be stingrays. It was super cute. That's also helping them with creating sets, prop design, helping them make props, helping them get on stage, getting them ready for preschool graduation is my goal, because being on stage can be really scary. But it's been super fun, and we're almost done. I think our last day is January 25th with me. Then it starts art, 9 weeks. Don't know what they're going to do then, but we'll see. You'll see. And then after that, 9 weeks of music. So super cool. It's really interesting getting the preschoolers involved. So whoever's idea that was, yeah, it's a great idea.
Well,
They're doing well.
It's just our connection now from preschool all the way through high school with our arts, and so it's part of our plan all along. And then the Ohio Arts Council has been great partners with us. They invested $378,000 for us to be able to expand arts into preschool, so Ms. Regina and others can be here, and that we can have a really robust arts experience for our kids in preschool in all 10 of our schools. And then again, we're working really hard to partner in the community, and so we had 5 community partners that wanted to participate as well.
Yeah, it's been a blast. So
Thank you.
Thank
And
you so
again,
much.
how far we've come in such a short period of time. Back in 2010, I think it was, we had all our cuts, the arts all went away. We made an emphasis to bring the arts back. Again, Ross did take a strong lead in that role, along with a whole lot of teachers. And what we're doing now is not only amazing, but we're getting invitations from outside groups to be a part of what's going on. Ross, you want to give an update on the conversation we had about Cleveland State?
Yeah, on Friday, a woman who is in charge of the recruitment for arts admissions for Cleveland State University reached out and said that they're looking to really boost their arts enrollment in their majors at Cleveland State, and said she'd heard a lot of really good things about our arts offerings and wanted to know if she could come out and meet with our high school students in our arts classes, if we could maybe do a field trip or two to Cleveland State, or if we could have students who are interested, they know that they're interested in exploring more about arts in the collegiate level, to go and meet their professors and get on campus. And she said they're really just looking to build out their arts program. They're looking for high schools who have robust arts programming to partner with to do that. So
So it went from having nothing to being a pipeline to arts.
yeah,
programs
pretty exciting.
that are very well respected.
Yep.
And by the way, I apologize to everybody out there. I am typically much more hospitable and professional. When people come into a board meeting, I got cooties, and I just want to give them to anybody else. So I'm going to sit up here and cough in my own corner. But again, I want to thank Regina for your leadership, Toy for the outstanding things you're doing at Hawthorne. I'm excited about where we are and excited about where we're heading. And we've had financial conversations more than once. We've had many conversations, and actually we're going to have a rough draft sharing with the board tonight on where we are in terms of how to account for the deficit that we're facing. And I just want to make it clear that we are doing our best to protect the arts because we know the value that is placed there. Not only in terms of enrollment, because it's what our community expects. They're very, very clear excuse me, about what they want, what our students want, and we have an obligation to provide that. So just thank you. It's just amazing things happening.
All right, so next up we have Miss Kalani Wilson. She's a kindergarten student and the daughter of Aaliyah Williams and Octavius Wilson. She loves to skate, dance, and sing. She's also a kindergarten ambassador. So she was in preschool last year and she did dance, and she's been in other Lorain programs. So her and her mom are gonna come up and kind of talk about, you don't have to. She's gonna talk about all of the things that she's done in Lorain.
That I did at school? At school, I like to do math.
Nice.
And I do, and I dance. At the football game? I cheered at the football
The
game.
mini cheer program. Mom talked about how amazing that was.
Yeah.
So she's been at Hawthorne.
I'm gonna.
This is her moment.
Okay, tell me what's.
Okay, you want me to say?
I've been at Hawthorne since 3 years old. They taught me a lot of things.
I was gonna speak for her, but she wouldn't let me. What if they taught you?
They taught me how to write my name
And what else?
and how to dance. And they taught me how to dance.
She's kind of the kid that you gotta ask her a couple questions. So, so she's been at Hawthorne since she's been 3 years old, and Hawthorne has been extremely helpful towards us. When she started school, she didn't know how to write her name. I couldn't get it for her for nothing. She didn't know how to write her name, count numbers, shapes, nothing. When she left out of preschool for her first year at 3 years old, she knew how to do it all. So the more and more like she goes up, and you know, in the grade level, she accelerates so far. So we love it at Hawthorne. I'm pretty sure it's the same at other schools, but my experience so far has only been at Hawthorne, and we love it. We love the communication skills and all the programs that they offer. Like she graduated Safety Town from here. She did the mini cheer camp for the homecoming football game. And let's see, what else have you done? She was Student of the Month last month, so she got that.
Congratulations.
So yeah, so we love our experience with just overall Lorain City Schools, and being at Hawthorne has been a wonderful experience for us.
Thank you.
You see how I'm
Thank you,
doing?
you're awesome. Congratulations.
All right, and then next we're gonna have Stephen and Raina Unardle. They are the children of Michelle Taylor and Stephen Unardle. Stephen is a first grade student. He loves playing video games and talking. Raina is a seventh grader and loves slime and playing with her friends. So they're gonna kind of talk about attendance. We've really been pushing attendance. We keep saying miss a day, miss a lot. Because gone is the day where the teacher's in the front and just talking to students. They do a lot of hands-on, they do a lot of group projects, they do all of those things. It's so important to be at school. They have 95% higher attendance both last year and this year. So they kind of were gonna talk about, she kind of told me, but I gave her a little sheet too. Some of the incentives and things that we do at our building to work on attendance.
The first thing that I like is hot chocolate and making gingerbread mans.
Okay, so she's speaking to, so we have secret incentives all the time. Like, you don't know when it's gonna happen, you just gotta be at school. So she's talking about some of the December incentives that we have this month.
And I like unwrapping gifts when it's Christmas, and sometimes my family gives, when we watch movies, my family sometimes lets us watch a movie and popcorn, and we drink hot cocoa. We had popcorn on Friday. We had hot cocoa.
Forgot what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
So talk about all the things we do at Hop, you guys know.
Yeah, like
What are some of the
dance.
incentives and things
You know
that
what
we
I'm
do?
saying? Like,
We
everybody.
we have different things like we dance, we do art, and we do music, and
I don't know what you call it.
and we do the gym,
Have your PBS parties every month.
and we have the PBIS parties every month.
You want to send them next week for doing what you need to do at school.
He some wait. Where's the paper?
What do you do this at school at lunch? What's the change after this?
He, when we got perfect attendance, he calls our name to come get up and gives us lollipops.
Nice.
And sometimes he says our
What else did you do with when
when he wait. Like when Mr. Holland says like when we have perfect attendance, he says like second grade or first grade come up. I mean,
So, yeah, we've been doing a lot for attendance. So, Mr. Holland, even in the cafeteria every day, you know, first grade, he'll say, first grade has 91%, and everybody claps. Or third grade, this class had 100%, and everybody claps. We always try to do incentives, so on there, we were just talking about some that we already did. So we did like a popcorn. So whoever came to school got popcorn. We gave away candy canes, so whoever came to school.
and hot chocolate.
And hot chocolate, yeah.
Likes that.
Don't forget the hot chocolate. There's nothing you have to do to get it, but just be there. So hot cocoa we gave, candy canes, we have on there as presents, so we're gonna be giving away
Lollipops.
presents. and lollipops. So there's just different things that we're just trying to do to incentivize and make it exciting to come to school. Great job.
Excellent, nice job.
Thank you.
While they're doing that, why don't you talk about your school?
This is awesome.
Oh, thank you very much.
And that's the leadership club. They made that.
My
Very, very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I love that. Thank you.
I have marks.
Thank you.
Want me to give Mark Ballard his?
my brother likes dancing, and he play music in the music room. Sometimes Miss stop. Yeah, stop.
Continue.
Yeah, just tell everybody what you like.
He likes playing. Sometimes Mr. E gives us some stuff that we can play with. Sometimes I play on my iPad. Yes, I do.
Let's take a pic. We're gonna take a picture.
All
real quick.
right.
Okay.
Let's give Hawthorne a round of applause. Yeah. Yeah, come on up.
Joyce?
And
Family? Yep. Mom, Mom? Yeah, come on up.
She's taking her picture first.
Oh, God.
Back up a little.
All right, ready? All good. All right, everybody squeeze in. Smile.
Girl.
Trying to move down. Smile. I'm good, you good.
Oh, I joined this one now.
Yep.
Here, I'll just slide right here.
Here, I'll cover it.
There we go.
Families, we know that this gets a little more boring as time goes on, so if you want to sneak out of here, no one's gonna do it. You're stuck around and wait.
Actually, if you stayed, we could judge you.
words that you did not think you were going to hear at the board meeting. Stanky leg for 1,000.
That was on my bingo card.
Cooties mentioned by Dr. Grams. I mean, you never know what you're going to get here at.
Thank you, guys. Wonderful job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, next up, we've got the endowment grant, Vic Timko and Casey Smith. And this is a program that has grown tremendously in a very short period of time. And I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a board meeting room full of a packed house and everybody smiling. So, Vicki, I'm going to hand it over to you and kind of walk us through what got us to this point and the changes that you've made to kind of generate some real enthusiasm about this.
Absolutely. Well, I am Vicki Timko, as Dr. Graham said. I am the Director of Federal Programs and Grants. I don't think I need that. I was a teacher in elementary school for a lot of years. So, anyway, the endowment grant.
Actually, Vicki, if you could, it's actually connected to some stuff.
Yeah,
here,
okay.
TV stuff.
Oh, the
Yeah.
door, okay. The endowment grant, wait, I don't like to stand still if people know me either. I'm
Take it
used
out,
to
take it out.
teaching.
Take it off.
Oh, thank you. The endowment grant did go dormant during COVID, like a lot of things. So when I was hired in, it was one of the things when they said this falls under your umbrella of responsibilities that I was like, yes. because it was time. It was time to breathe life back into the endowment grants. I know when I taught here, I did my first 21 years of my career here. It was fun. It was an honor every year. You looked forward to writing that grant and getting fun things for your classroom. So I was glad to bring it back, bring the applications back, and work with the community, our friends at the Community Foundation. That's endowment grants are a partnership between the community and the funds that are raised and managed with the Community Foundation, and there's a grant writing process for any staff member. The initiatives are for those things that we want to do for children that go above and beyond what's allowable in our regular school budgets. And so we had over 50 applications this year, which is double last year, so the competition was stiff. We still gave out over $100,000 to teachers across the district. There were 30 award winners. A lot of them are here tonight, so I want to get into that. But first, I have to thank my committee. In year one, when you take something over, you know it's always a little nerve-wracking. I couldn't have done it without my committee, though. So I want to first ask Casey Smith to help me. We have a token of appreciation for the endowment committee. It starts with some of us from the school district. It starts with our superintendent, Dr. Graham, our board president, Courtney Nazario, treasurer, Tia Carney, assistant treasurer, Julie West, and that is my grants coordinator, Casey Smith. Then we have some folks from the Community Foundation of Lorain County who sit on the committee. Cynthia is not with us. Cynthia Andrews, she's on some leave for a little while. And Aaliyah Kimbrough also, who is a Lorain School alumni, but also could not be here tonight. And then we have community representatives who sit on the committee. Joel Arredondo is here. Thank you. Albert Kalo could not be here this evening, but Andrea Neal, thank you. Andrea is here, serves on the committee. And Joan Perch also sits on our endowment committee. So stand up, Andrea, and give a wave. Thank you so much. Thank you. So thank you to the committee. I could not do this without you. There are also 2 student reps. Our endowment bylaws say that we must have student council reps. We have a senior class rep, Erin Tillack, a lot of you might know his mom, Jennifer. I taught with her for a lot of years. And junior class representative, Audrina Fortney. And I know that neither one of them could be here, but they come during the day to our meetings, and they were a great part of the committee in helping to select the grant winners as well. So thank you to the committee. As I said, 50 applications, $100,000 this evening for our grant winners. Last year we gave out student artwork. This year, our grant winners, you are getting an endowment winner grant t-shirt, because, you know, we sport our Titan gear on Fridays, and you're getting a pin of appreciation because we also, as staff, all have lanyards, and my teachers, often you'll see start different pin collections on their lanyards. So I thought it might be a nice idea to give you that gold star, because we are teachers, we like those gold stars too. Okay, so let me call your name. Please come up. I'm going to ask President Courtney, if you would help Casey in passing these things out. I'm going to announce your name, your building, and the title of your grant. If you're here, please come forward, accept our token of appreciation, and thank you for going above and beyond for our kiddos. Aaliyah Ferguson from Frank Jacinto wrote a grant. It's called Animal Adventure. It's got some field trip opportunities. Thank you so much. Amanda Smith from Lorain High School, World Languages Class Libraries. So for our world language classes, thank you. Amy Rodriguez of Admiral King is here, Learning to Love Literature Through Music and Dance. And this is with a local author who brings a lot of culture and rich tradition back to the classroom. Mr. Hoffman was not available, but in his absence tonight should be Susan Davis should be here to accept. Thank you. Mr. Hoffman for Longfellow wrote an iReady Growth and Achievement Grant. So thank you for coming on their behalf. I appreciate that. Angelo Cortica, is Angelo here? Angelo got 2 grants. Angelo is from Longfellow, and he has got Dayland Brass Band guest artist coming, and the 8th, no, you don't get 2 shirts. I'm telling you, this guy. And the 8th grade band contest performance and Cedar Point trip, so that's going to be great. Barb Bowman, is Barb here? Barb also got 2 grants. She's at Lorain High School. One of the grants is actually for her bowling club that she still takes care of at Southview, and the other one is for her chess club. So thank you, Barb. Mr. Oley, Bill, are you here, Bill? Director of our Curriculum Elementary, and Doug. I know Doug couldn't make it with you, but they are partners in crime in planning quite possibly the most awesome fifth grade field day, transition to middle school trip day festivities. So thank you, Mr. Oley, because that's a great day for that grant. Brian Hilko is here, assistant principal from Lorain High School. And we are going to keep alive and build some senior recognition activities and some traditions. So thank you, Mr. Hilko. John Akesy and Craig Wood, also from Lorain High School. This is for the ecology field study equipment. They do some phenomenal things in their ecology class that we got to learn about. They brought students to their grant presentation, and it was really awesome. Karen Rossi, I had the pleasure of teaching with Karen for many years. She is now at Toni Morrison. She does great things with the little ones, some animals and science and literacy lessons, and takes them on all kinds of adventures. Is Kelly Barrick here? Kelly's here. Kelly's doing one that's district-wide. She's working with the Inlet Dance. They will be here in March for our arts festival. So thank you, Kelly, and you guys will hear more and more about this March. We're going to have Schools Week and an arts festival and all kinds of good stuff going on. Lindsay Wright from Toni Morrison. This is for a flex learning space. So getting creative in how we set up our classrooms too. So, and that takes above and beyond fundraising. So and grant writing. So thank you, Lindsay. Lisa Herzl from Longfellow. Oh, this is Longfellow and Juliet. I am so excited. The musical Juliet. So she's going to bring some experience to our students, and very excited to see that one coming to fruition. Melinda Turnus and Jessica Kremians. Thank you. I know Jessica couldn't make it, but thank you, Melinda, for being here. This is the TI Inspire Discovery Learning. So this has to do with a lot of robotics and programming and some really cool digital work. Melissa Whitaker from Toni Morrison. This is going to be a STEAM museum combination activity. Thank you so much, Melissa, for your application. We appreciate it. Miriam Engel at Southview. This is STEM Kits for Friday Fun Day. And this is partnering with getting some really cool materials from a company that we work with quite often. Monique Stewart, the assistant principal at Stephen Dohanis Elementary. Monique got this grant last year. She's going to keep it going this year. This is for her Cream of the Crop crew at Stephen Dohanis Elementary. Sort of what Toy was talking about, those things that we're trying to do to keep the attendance up and rising. Olivia Akers could not be here. I know her and Mr. Monteleone have something going on at the building, but Olivia won 3 grants. And in her absence, Caitlin Huff is here to accept. So thank you, Caitlin, for coming. They have the One School, One Book, according to Humphrey. They also are doing Broadway Bound, expanding access to live theater productions, and Regulation Roadmap grant. So Olivia was busy writing grants and doing a great job over there. Rebecca Falkenstein and Julie Ramey, another school doing One School, One Book at Admiral King. And what book are you ladies doing?
Gooseberry Park.
Gooseberry Park, thank you. A lot of great activities they have planned for that whole festivities. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, Ted Terhune from Lorain High School. Ted is won this grant last year as well. He's going to continue the Cleveland Orchestra project, and this year it's the music of Mozart. Looking forward to hearing about that. Toby Koth at Washington. Toby's been doing this project for a while. Tomorrow's Leaders Today. He also won last year's grant money, and what he's doing with our little ones with forming them into fabulous young women and young men is great. Waleska Soto has one does touch us district-wide. Waleska's knocked it out of the park with our Adopt-a-School network and partnerships. And so her grant will help continue that work and facilitate our Adopt-a-School network programming. We do have some other winners who I don't think are present tonight. Reagan Onweller from Lorain High School, who's getting ready to do The Wiz. That is going to be our musical this year. She could not be here tonight, but the endowment was able to give her a nice chunk of money to get the whiz up and running. She said she wasn't feeling well, though. Zeta Smith at Lorain High School is doing ceramics, some tile wall art that I can't wait to see how that comes out with the students. Lisa Doyle at Washington is a Greater Cleveland Aquarium experience, and Melanie Armstrong at Washington is engaging our students with disabilities and the Science Center. So that's it. So much going on. I'm so excited. They have to do a final report, and it's mostly because I just want to get good pictures and videos, and because I can't be a part of all the grant activities that happen. So again, thank you for going above and beyond for our kids. Congratulations, and keep applying every year. Thank you.
Again, just very, very briefly, and again, and now is the time if you want to go, we fully understand. But before you do that, one more big round of applause for Vicki and Casey for their leadership putting this together, and our community partners. Courtney, do you want to do the city first and then?
Yeah.
Is that
so
right?
they can
Okay,
go.
yeah. You okay with that, Tia?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
go
Okay.
ahead.
that way this place will be empty.
But we have another presentation with Melissa. I just want to make sure we're being respectful to everybody. Matt, can I introduce you in a second?
Because then you guys can go before we, because we have other presentations.
Okay, our next presentation is going to be from Matt Kuzner from the city. And we had an agreement a long time ago, and as a result of some changes that were made, it has to be voted on again. This is a promise we made 12 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. But again, it's risen again, and we want to make sure that everybody's in the loop before the board takes action.
Sure. Hello, hello. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Graham. Good evening, members of the board, members of the public. I'm Matt Kuzner. I'm the Director of Building, Housing, and Planning for the City of Lorain. Tonight on the board's agenda is the approval of a CRA agreement for the Bowman Group for Phase 3 of their development. Just to let everyone know, we do have representatives from the Bowman Group here, and later we'll be taking any questions. But just in a nutshell, as Dr. Graham had mentioned, the CRA agreement, more commonly known as a tax abatement for real property, was approved for the entirety of this area back in 2014, 2015. Due to some lot splits, and as a formality, the Lorain County Auditor's Office, to keep the abatement, to keep it going for additional phases of the development, are requiring that we enter into another agreement based on the lot splits. Just to give everyone just a very brief overview of the CRA program, CRA agreements have been approved for, again, like I mentioned, for this development before, but have also been approved city, more so on the far west side of the city for a lot of the residential development. For some of the numbers that we were able to generate as the city from our records, based on this partnership with the city and the school board, we've been able to generate about a $152 million investment over a period of 15 years in the city of Lorain. That investment has led to the explosion of the commercial corridor in 58. So think of Kohl's, think of Walmart, Home Depot. Because these CRA agreements and because this program exists, led to that residential development, and because that residential development is here in the city, that gave those companies the confidence to come move in, create jobs, and provide different amenities to the city of Lorain. So we want to continue that partnership, and we're urging the board approve this agreement tonight. We do, moving forward, have other agreements that we'll be working on very closely with the school board in the future. And very, very soon in the beginning into the new year. So I can take any questions if the board has any. And again, we do have representation from the Bowman Group as well to answer any questions.
Go ahead.
And I know we've had this conversation many times, but if you could also elaborate on the fact that this is not a forever abatement and what is happening already as a result of this property that we believe would still be vacant if it wasn't for the abatements.
Sure. So, and thank you for asking that. So this proposed development is another $6.6 million investment into that area. The Bowman Group has already invested $32 million for phases 1 and phase 2. But the mechanics of the CRA agreement only applies to the increased value of property taxes from the buildings themselves. But any work that's being done to the land is already increasing the property taxes. that increase, that automatic increase to property taxes, the schools are seeing a net benefit to that. So for instance, phases 1 and phase 2 that currently benefit from a tax abatement had property taxes for phase 1 annually of about $500 a year. But because of the improvements to the land, even though the abatement is active, the Bowman Group is currently paying $42,000 annually. So one can make the argument that without that abatement, property taxes would still be at $500 instead of $42,000. And that's just for phase 1. For phase 2, prior to development, on average, the property taxes annually were about $132 a year. Now they're about $14,000 a year. So again, just to illustrate the point that because of these abatements, even though there is a property tax abatement to the buildings themselves, there's still a tremendous net benefit because of the improvements to the land. After 10 years, the schools will start to receive about 25% of what would be collected in property taxes because of the increased building value. But after 15 years, the abatement falls off completely. So this isn't a forever abatement, but this is just a way that the city and the schools can use to incentivize additional development here in the city of Lorain.
And the first part is about to fall off in, how many?
It'll be collected in 2027, I believe.
Yep, that's what I thought, thank you. Any other questions?
Nope, I was good in 2014. I'm still good.
And I think this is also a statement of the partnership that I know we have with the Bowman Group, but also with the city. And the city has done tremendous things for us. It is one of the things that, from a financial perspective, that kind of jumps off the sheet for me, that we know we've talked about many times, is the fact that the city uses their people and their equipment to pave our parking lots. We have to pay for the materials, but the savings last year alone, as opposed to us contracting that out, was $100,000 of savings for us. So there are ways to partner. We invest with each other. Can't have a strong city without strong schools, and vice versa. And although abatements are have a negative connotation, they are necessary, my opinion. Courtney?
Anything else?
I'm not sure if it's appropriate, but Julie's got her hand up.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question. So you spoke about the development on Route 58, poles and all those things, and all these houses that are built. But those houses don't vote for our school levies. And does that money then come to Lorain City Schools? Because those are all Amherst schools that benefit from that.
No, some of them are in Lorain.
Yeah. How many of them? How much of this money is going, I mean, we're talking about laying off people, and now we're talking about giving 100% tax abatement?
So this particular agreement does affect the Lorain City Schools. So the reason that we're here and not in front of the Amherst School Board is because this particular development is in the district, is in the Lorain City School District. But without these abatements, to previous points that were made, without these abatements, our argument is we wouldn't even see the investment to begin with. We look at this in a way of a guaranteed investment that we know in 15 years we're going to see a tremendous increase in addition to the increase that's already being had because they're improving the land. The current property taxes on that site are about $239 a year. We'll see next year, once the county auditor completes their valuation, what their improvements to the land will increase that to. But without the abatement, they wouldn't even be increasing the land value, which is, again, an immediate benefit. And if passed as prologue, based on their last phase, I mean, we can expect, tens of thousands of dollars immediately to be generated next year in property taxes.
Is this commercial or residential?
It's kind of a combination. So the property itself they're multifamily units, so they're rental properties. So this is a commercial CRA agreement, but ultimately the end use is multifamily residential.
I have a question. And we also spoke with the Bowman Group about potential partnering at some point with us to, I don't know, just sort of say thank you, or is that correct? We're still there?
That's correct.
Tony Giardini is taking the lead on that for us. Yes, yes.
The community to know that you're doing that.
Anything else? Okay, thanks, Matt.
Yep. I appreciate it. Thank you again for coming. Thank you.
We're all
you're okay.
Okay, in the same spirit, if you guys want to make a run for it, we get it.
Yes. We have more presentations.
Yeah, we have,
Really.
but yours will be upvoted on the treasure section. Want to speak? Let's, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I want to invite Ms. Cheers and the high school scheduling team up as she's working her way up. We've worked over the last couple of years in alignment with our strategic plan to make sure that we've got the best opportunities available for our students at the elementary, middle school, and high school level. So we revised elementary school schedules a couple of years ago. We revised the middle school schedules. Last up is the high school schedule. High school is certainly the most complex. Melissa and her team have been working for literally a year and a half now to prepare for next school year's schedule. And so tonight she'll introduce and walk through how we went about learning, how the students and staff have driven the scheduling adjustments that we're making, and the course guide for next school year.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for allowing us to share tonight. At Lorain High, our motto is Rise Together, Titans. Greatness is in us. And our mission is to chart a pathway of success for every single student at our high school. So our students 9 through 11, we want to make sure that they are on track for graduation as they rise to each grade level, and that our seniors, of course, all walk together and graduate every year, and that they are college and career ready. And I just want to thank our Lorain High staff for making sure that we make the main thing, as Michael Scott always says. And I appreciate the hard work of our staff. We're a team. And we can go to the next slide. So I just want to thank our staff for their dedication. Tonight, you will hear about our progress and also information on where we are headed as a building as we continue to refine in order to raise student achievement and our students' sense of belonging. I will highlight the process that we followed for revisions with scheduling, our course guide to include new courses based on our students' requests, and the benefits of the revised schedule, the revised Bell schedule. Of course, we want 100% of our students to walk across the stage each year for graduation, and we've made significant progress toward this goal with 80% of our students graduating, the 80% graduation rate for 2024, and that is the first time at 80% or higher since 2010. So that is worth mentioning. We have been very intentional at Lorain High with student support, access to resources, and quality instruction, to include the move to grade level principals, teacher and staff collaboration and planning, teacher teams at the 9th and 10th grade level, student support teams made up of our school counselors, social workers, wellness coaches, and safety compliance officers, to ensure that our students attend school daily and that they stay on track and just have an overall positive experience at Lorain High School. Our students are showing progress based on our on-track data. For example, the class of 2026 as freshmen, 32.9% were on track to graduate on time. Then our class of 2027 freshmen, 52.7% were on track to graduate on time. That's a 19.8% increase, and we are proud of that progress. Our personalized approach with working with our students and their families to remove as many barriers as possible so that our students are getting to school, it's a school-wide effort, and it's a continued effort, but we are already seeing progress, particularly with our senior class. Our chronic absenteeism rate for seniors is 7% better today than at this time last year. And once again, that's due to our teamwork and our staff's dedication, and our students and our families. Additional progress, providing student choice and autonomy that's aligned with raising student achievement is important, and a student-centered environment matters to us. So we have flexible seating now in our cafeteria and our media center, and our student advisory committee had input on the design. And if you can see there in the pictures, our logos on the furniture show our school pride. There are additional pictures of our media center. Our next big steps are to revise the master schedule, our courses, and our scheduling process. And this, once again, could not be possible without a team of key people that really rolled up their sleeves with me to represent the diverse needs of our building, as well as staff and student voice. So I want to just shout out, and I have a special thank you to all the staff on our scheduling team, and their names are listed there. I also want to thank our counseling department, and this work was put in over the past year and a half, and it has been a tremendous effort. Before I get into the specific revisions that we've made, we follow the process of learning from what other districts are doing in the areas of scheduling, course offerings, and their bell schedule. And we learn from other district websites. We did the research. We looked for exemplars of access and information for students and families. We met with the principals and counselors from Steubenville and Solon High Schools, which are two high-performing districts, one of which has a similar demographic, and that would be Steubenville to ours. We do have our own unique needs at Lorain High, which we are all aware of. However, it was really important for us to learn what other districts are doing to achieve positive outcomes for students as we continue to refine. So over the past year and a half, we've met with our student advisory committee for feedback. We've received feedback from our building leadership team, our department chairs, and all of our staff for their input. We developed a schedule process with clear timelines. We met with the scheduling consultant to calibrate the team, demonstrate options that we have for our bell schedule at the high school, and we developed drafts for consideration with our bell schedule. From there, we were able to develop a draft bell schedule proposal, which started out, we finalized a 572-minute block schedule, and we moved from that. We conducted open feedback sessions with staff. We surveyed students for their course preferences. We requested course proposals from our staff, and our staff really turned out and participated for that, and I'm very proud of them. And this was aligned to our student survey results in order to provide the new courses to students. We revised our bell schedule based on the feedback and the course proposals. And then we conducted another round of open feedback sessions with our staff. And now we're reviewing every course to make sure that it's aligned to the needs of our students. And we're at the point where we are revising our course guide. So just to highlight what our students said from our feedback, and this has been over the past year and a half, our students want better relationships with staff and one another. Oftentimes when they have, in our current schedule, when they're starting over at the semester with new teachers, it can be frustrating. New teachers, new courses. They want more elective options and higher level courses in 11th and 12th grades. And currently our 90-minute blocks, it can be kind of long for some students. Our 11th and 12th graders would like more privileges and more access to teachers for help. In general, that's grades 9 through 12. And our students reported that they want to learn more about money earlier since many work. With our staff, our feedback from our department chairs, our building leadership team, and staff committees, we gained valuable feedback when we looked at our equity data as well. And we also held 2 listening sessions, full-day listening sessions this year and last year to provide access for all of our staff to give their input. So some of the feedback I would like to highlight, our skinnies or our periods right now are a little too short, they said. And similar to what our students said, our block schedule, our 90-minute classes can be too long for some students because we do have a hybrid schedule right now. They mentioned needing more flexibility in the schedule to meet their students' needs, and that 9th and 10th graders need more instructional time for core courses. Those are just some examples. They requested more time to teach Algebra 1 and English. They talked about needing an opportunity for stronger relationships with students, and that students with disabilities should not be pulled from courses to work on IEP goals, for example. Those are some examples of our staff feedback that we took into account. As a best practice, we revise our scheduling process, which our counselors continue to refine each year. They meet weekly, and they're ensuring that they work together as a team. Brian, if you can click on the revised scheduling process. I also have copies. I don't have gifts, but I have copies of the scheduling process. Thank you. Oh.
Tainted.
Do we have to boil these?
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Sorry, Dr.
That's fair. That's fair.
And we charted everything, starting with our open house for students and families in August. And we just want to make sure that our students and families have all the information to be successful throughout the year. With our scheduling process, we wanted to ensure that we conduct individual meetings with every student to select courses and stay on track with their graduation progress. Starting from the winter of 8th grade, we will not wait until their senior year to start monitoring student progress. We start the winter of our students that are in 8th grade. We hold an electives fair to inform students about courses and complete the first draft of the schedule before spring break. With this process, we want to make sure that we survey students annually for course interest, and that scheduling materials will go out to students and families before winter break. So that will happen this year. So scheduling really now is a year-round process when you look at this timeline. And we're really proud of this work, and it continues to be refined. It's important to us, we can go to the, it's important to us that we make sure that we are providing students with courses that they really want to take. On a yearly basis, we audit our courses and make decisions on new course offerings.
And Melissa, what's the #1 requested course of students that we're currently not offering?
I put an example here, math games.
I thought it was cosmetology.
Yeah.
Oh,
is it cosmetology? Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't on our survey.
No, they wrote it in.
Oh, they
still
wrote it in?
#1. Yeah.
Okay. A key to this process, of course, is our student voice. So with input from our teachers and department chairs, that's how we put together this student survey for their suggestions on new courses. And this is an example of math electives that they wanted. They really want math games, just math that's more relevant to them, and intro to engineering. Students also had an opportunity to type in their suggestions, and okay, so cosmetology was one there. And we also found when they typed in their suggestions that there were some courses that they asked for that we already offered. And what that told us is that we need to make sure that they have access to the information. Okay, and so that's a priority for us as well, that this information is communicated with students and their families. And our students ultimately drive the schedule and the courses that we run each year based on the choices that they make during scheduling. Which leads me to our new revised course guide. Yep, we are excited. Now this is on our website under Lorain High School to have a live interactive course guide that is accessible to all and universally designed. For example, Brian, if you click on the preferred language in the lower right, you can change it to Spanish or any language. You can change it back to English. So it's accessible there for your preferred language with just a click of a button. And before I dive too deep into this, I would like to thank our communications department and Lisa Robeson for the hard work that they put into this course guide along with our staff. We'll keep building out our course guide to include videos of information for our courses as well. If you see here, there's a table of contents, and you can click down, for example, in social studies courses. Go scroll down. Okay, I'll drive. We wanted to make this as interactive as possible, so some of our electives actually have videos attached to them. I'll show a short video for sports and society so that our students and families can learn more about the course.
Have you thought about what impact the return of LeBron James had to Northeastern Ohio? The evolution of the female athlete, and why it is now considered normal to have an African American play quarterback. Hey everyone, this is Mr. Cawthon here at Lorain High School, and I want to talk to you a little about the societal issues in sports, which is a unique elective that is designed for those that have an interest in sports. And the course is designed to get you involved, do some research, have some great discussions. We take a look at a lot of different aspects of the history of sports and the impact of the society that it has on all of us. I think this would be a great opportunity for us to have a great time and experience sports on a different level, and maybe you'd learn some things that you really didn't even know about sports. Again, it is the class that is really out there, and as I call it, it's a slam dunk of electives. So hope to see you there.
So that's just one example of many videos that we have throughout the course guide. And some of the videos highlight students talking about the different courses. Let me go back to the. We are excited to offer new courses which are in this course guide. It's been updated. We are continuing our arts expansion. We have 5 new instrumental music courses. We've revamped dance courses, including 3 new courses. We met our students' requests in English and math. We have 8 new courses in those subject areas combined. For science and social studies, we are offering 6 new courses. And our staff and student requests for 9th grade, we really want to offer our first year seminar. We're able to do that this year coming up, just to acclimate our 9th graders to high school so that they learn to do school, executive functioning skills, and just how to navigate successfully through high school. We are meeting our students' requests for more health and physical education courses. We have 7 new courses in those subject areas. And our athletes requested a speed, strength, and agility and quickness course, and we are able to offer that this coming school year as well. Amanda Sturgeon, our Director of Early College, she has some exciting news to share about our college program. And Matt Killian, the coordinator.
Thank you. So we have handouts too. You want to all three?
I got yelled at. I was chastised.
All right, so Mr. Killian and I are here tonight to talk about our expansion in early college. We're really excited. We've been working with our partners at LCCC. Ms. Churchill was here tonight, but we're double scheduled, so we have our first information session tonight at GJW for recruitment for next year, so we're kind of split in half right now. But we've been working really hard with LCCC to come up with a way to order or to offer the Associate of Science in our building. It's been a request for a while from our students. And previous to this, the only way that they could obtain the Associate of Science was to take their second science sequence, which is required for that degree, by attending LCCC main campus. So they could only go if they could transport themselves, and it was in the evening. And it was kind of like 4 days a week. So it really limited it. None of our athletes could do it. None of our band students could do it. Anyone who had any extra activity was pretty much prohibited from that experience. So we put together a proposal. We worked with the math department at the college, and we sent forward several sequences of science in order to get that second sequence, which is what we're missing to offer the Associate of Science. The program or the classes that were approved were bringing back human biology, which we ran previously here, but our teacher retired, and now we have another qualified teacher. We're also bringing the meteorology class, and those 2 classes finish off the 2 sequences. What came out of this, though, that's an additional benefit is not only are we going to have the Associate of Science, but we're going to have 2 ways for students to earn that Associate of Science. So for students who are not as strong in math, they can take the statistics track, and then they would just have to take an extra elective course. The second track is for our stronger math students, and they'll have the opportunity to take college algebra and college trig for their math sequence. So we're really excited about the opportunity. Typically, we have anywhere from 20 to 35 students who earn their associates. So far, we've only had about 2 earn their Associate of Science. So this will increase that number exponentially, and also increase our degree earners as well. This year, we have about 25 kids who will be able to earn their Associate of Arts degree, and we have a couple that, because of this, may also be able to get their Associate of Science. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Great news.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon and Mr. Killian. Our revised bell schedule. I'd like to introduce that to you. Our revised bell schedule is 7 50-minute periods with additional minutes during second period for Titan time. That's when we show our Titan news announcements daily to our students. This changes from our current hybrid schedule, which consists of a 10-period day. And our 9th and 10th graders currently have 43 minutes. Our electives are primarily blocked right now for 90 minutes and are offered as semesters. And the majority of our upperclassmen grades 11th and 12th have classes that are 90-minute block classes on our current schedule. The revised schedule offers additional minutes for our class periods. We were able to move from the 90-minute blocks for most elective courses, unless, of course, the course is designed, for additional time. For example, our early college and career tech programs can benefit from additional time. So now they can offer block classes of 100 minutes with this revised schedule. The benefits of this schedule is increased instructional minutes. It adds 1,218 instructional minutes. And during our period classes, as you see on the slide, that's equivalent of adding an additional 28 periods to the school year. For block classes, it's equivalent of adding an additional 14 blocks to the school year. It was really important to us that our students with disabilities are able to receive services connected to core courses throughout the year, since our core courses will be year-long for all grades, since they are no longer semester-based. Another benefit to our schedule are comprehensive programs such as career tech and early college, and some early college courses will remain on the block for that 100 minutes, and that will provide 1,218 minutes of additional instruction, and that our driver's education course will continue to be offered during the school day as a period, a 50-minute period. For our lunch schedule, our benefit of the schedule for lunches will reduce our lunches from 4 lunches to 3, which allows our cafeteria to be cleaned better and more efficiently between lunches. We want our seniors to be able to eat in the dining area of the media center. We designed that from the beginning, and that students who eat in classrooms will still be able to eat in classrooms for their lunch bunch. But this should eliminate or greatly reduce the number of split classes that we have with lunch in between. So you go to a class, then you'll leave that class, go to lunch, and then you have to go back to that class. And it was important to us to try to reduce that as much as possible with this revised schedule. Another benefit, our dance, instrumental music, and visual art courses are either currently full or have a waiting list. So this revised schedule will allow for additional sections to accommodate current needs and incoming students from the middle schools. And our drama and vocal music, that would allow for additional sections as our student interest in the arts continues to increase. And Ross, I believe you had something to add as well.
Our enrollment is just going up quite a bit in our arts programming. So when we survey our students, they want a lot more instrumental music. We're offering 5 new additional instrumental music classes for our students to take at the high school next year. We have full enrollment in our middle schools for our music and art programs. So we know there's a wave coming, and we need to design that for our students to be able to participate.
And if I could just piggyback on that too, it doesn't go directly in line with this, but the spirit of what Ross said. Julie mentioned a few minutes ago that we have to have some adjusting to our spending. Levy failed, and obviously we had some savings in other areas. But for us, financially speaking, increasing enrollment is our way out of this. And the experts predicted 2 different groups that our enrollment would decrease this year, and instead it increased. And a couple reasons why. First of all, in kindergarten, our numbers are way up, and based on live birth data, they're supposed to be way down this year. You can project how many second graders you have based on how many first graders you had the year before. But for kindergarten, it's based on live birth data, and those numbers are way down in our zip codes. What's happening is in preschool, 2 years ago, 52% of our students who attended our preschool went to our kindergarten. Last year, 74% of our students who attended our preschool came to our kindergarten. This year, 81% of our students who attended our preschool came to our kindergarten. So kindergarten was supposed to be our smallest class. It's now our 2nd largest, and the arts play a big role in that. It's also our kids coming to school, and they get to know the principals and the teachers, and they fall in love with the school. But again, arts, based on the surveys that we're doing, arts is driving our enrollment in the right direction. So I didn't mean to get us off, but it's just a huge component to what we're doing. So I'm thanking you for listening to what our families want and providing it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Our next steps at this point, we want to ensure that our scheduling materials get into the hands and are made available to our students and families at the end of this week prior to break. We will have an electives fair for our students in early January. Once again, we want to make sure that information is communicated to them on our new courses and, just courses that we offer to build student awareness. And our scheduling will begin January 13th. All schedules are on track to be completed by February 28th, and we want to have a first run of our schedule by March 17th. And if any of you know about scheduling, that's pretty aggressive as a timeline. We will once again survey our students in May to find out what their interests are for any new courses, and that students and staff will have projected schedules for the 25-26 school year by June 5th. So thank you for allowing us to share this information. As a staff, we believe in our students, and we just want to give them the best opportunity possible at Lorain High.
Thanks,
Thank
Melissa.
you.
Yeah, before we open up to questions from the board, I just want to say thank you. This is long overdue, not just the timeline that you put together, but a schedule that accommodates student needs and staffing needs. And I appreciate the process that you guys followed to make sure that everybody had a voice. And the outcome or the product that you've unveiled is fantastic. Now, the 7-period day is probably the most common one in the state, but we had concerns because of career tech and early college. Had to make some adjustments, but took our time, did it right, and I just want to say thanks.
Are we all year long now, or do we have some semester courses? And
Yes, we're primarily year-long with our core courses. We do have some semester courses for electives, for example.
And you did say the early college classes. Some of those are going to be some blocked schedules,
Yes,
right?
some of
Okay.
those will have
That was my question.
100 minutes blocked, yes.
Because I'm having 7 college, having 4
Yeah.
is much easier for our kids, just knowing my girls. Having 4 of them, they don't take study hall, so they like a full class. Because then they'll still be able to take extra classes by having blocked.
Absolutely.
And this isn't going to affect anybody like juniors and seniors by changing this. It's not going to affect anybody not getting enough credits to graduate.
No, we will ensure that they have that opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And actually, to Jay's point, it actually helps because there are more opportunities to take classes. Now you have 7 here, which is 28 over a 4-year period, whereas with our block, you were reduced in some areas.
In some, but sometimes you got
Some-
more, because like
some you got more,
Em
yep.
was able to take a ton more, my oldest was able to take a ton more.
Mhm.
She was taking 8 a year, most classes. So that's just why I questioned that. Thank you.
Absolutely. We asked the same questions, and that's why we had everyone represented at the
Thank you.
table. Yeah.
And we're going to be, again, meeting with students individually starting January 13th and in 8th grade. So we're
I love that 8th grade. I really,
every
really
single
like
year
that.
we're tracking their progress and meeting with them, scheduling together as
I like
opposed
the 8th
to
grade,
yeah.
and I love the freshmen, what did you call it?
First year seminar.
First year
Yeah, and
seminar.
helping with study skills, I have said that,
Yep.
that they just need that, especially the kids taking the college classes. They've never really had to study before, and
Yep.
so that's gonna be, well, I love that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, absolutely.
I have 2 questions. Along with the CCP program, will the CTE program classes that might need longer time, they'll still have that, correct?
Yes, they will. They'll have the 100-minute blocks.
Thank you. And then the other question is the 9th grade seminar. I too think that that's a great class to offer. Will everybody have to take that, or is it an elective?
I would like for all 9th grade students to take the first year seminar
is that a full year?
I like it.
semester.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay. First hearing of the public.
Well, that's true. Don't think about that.
Don't worry, I have good news. Julie Garcia, LEA President. I'm here to give you my our update of what the LEA is up to. So Saturday, we had our 4th annual Breakfast with Santa, and it was a wonderful event. And thanks to some donations from staff and community members, we were able to provide tickets to some of our families who were unable to attend. So they were able to join us and have a good time. I think our Santa had a whole lot more fun than the kids did. But it was a really great event, and it always is. Kids have a really good time, and it's nice to see the families come out. Next, we have Lorain Education Association is going to be the featured organization for the International Festival. So we will be inviting retired teachers to participate with us, as well as all of our LEA members to participate in all of the activities for the International Festival. We will be organizing committees and getting that all together. So if anybody knows how to build a float, please feel free to volunteer. We're looking for somebody to do that. Tomorrow night, for our district movie night, the LEA will be passing out full-size candy bars to all who attend for free. So if you want a candy bar, come on to the movie. It's Inside Out 2.
Nice.
And the district is providing, I think, popcorn and water for everybody. And we also have our LEA-sponsored social event for all of us staff members. Everybody's invited. Please come. It's at the VFW from 3 to 6, and everybody will receive food and snacks and beverages as well. And finally, we did receive a grant from our district union from NEOEA to fund bowling for the Special Olympics. So we'll get a hold of whoever's organizing that so that they have money so that they can do their Unified Special Olympics for the bowling activities.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That's it.
Yes, and the breakfast with Santa was wonderful. All the little crafts that they get to make, and it's so nice. It's a really
It
nice
is.
event.
You guys do a great job.
And our teachers volunteer, and this year we had the Leo Club come and help.
Yes, it
Lorain
was
High
nice.
Leo Club came and helped out, and they had a good time.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you. Okay, can we approve the minutes from the November 25th meeting, and the board waives the right to read those minutes?
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Under old business, at the last meeting, there was a request made by Mrs. Washington to vote on several items. We are going to defer this vote until the end of January, beginning of February, when we have more information available to make that vote. Right? Thanks. Any other old business to share? Okay. Reports and recommendation of the treasurer.
The first item I have is the selection of President Pro Temp for the organizational meeting for next month. So we'll need a nomination.
Nominate Courtney Nazario.
Support.
We just need a motion to close the vote.
So moved.
Support.
And roll call?
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
And to vote for President Pro Tem. Roll call, sorry.
We need a motion first.
Oh, I need a motion to vote for,
So moved.
thank you.
Support.
Roll call.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
And then I have items 8.02 through 8.05 for approval.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Recommendation of the superintendent.
I'd like the board to consider for approval items 9.01 to 9.10, personnel matters.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
I'd like the board to consider for approval items 10.01 to 10.12, operations matters.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Any new business to share? Committee, sorry, go ahead.
The movie, but I think it already got some
Yes.
notoriety. I hope we see everybody tomorrow.
President, may
Yes,
I?
go ahead.
From Brian Corey, I just wanted to share this weekend, we had the annual Elks Hoop Shoot contest, and just wanted to share a little bit about that. There'll probably be more coming out about it, but Lorain City Schools has participated in the Elks hoop shoot contest for almost 40 years, I believe. The event is held across the country for boys and girls ages 8 through 13. The hoop shoot contest is conducted in 5 tiers to qualify for the national finals. Those 5 tiers are school contest, city lodge contest, district contest, state contest, and nationals. Lorain City Schools hosts the school contest, each individual building, and the city lodge contest at Lorain High, which just happened this past weekend, this Saturday. The winners from the city lodge contest from this past Saturday were as follows: 8-9 boys, and I apologize if I mispronounce any names, but I'll do my best. Desiree Miller from Amber King. 8-9 girls: Giselle Feliciano from Helen Steiner Rice. 10-11 boys: Nazir Lusain from Toni Morrison. 10-11 girls: Harmony Nelson from Helen Steiner Rice. 12-13 boys: Jackson Ramos, Longfellow. 12-13 girls: Cecilia Rosa, Southview. These individuals now move on to the district contest, which is scheduled for Sunday, January 5th at Norwalk High School. So that's pretty cool. And if you didn't know, a couple years ago, we actually sent a student who's competing again this year to nationals 2 years ago in Chicago, and the Elks Club took care of that for his family regarding flights, hotel, and meals. So that's pretty cool.
That's very exciting.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we have this idea of trying to figure out all of the winners from all the years and maybe having some fun with that. But there's a lot of things that go on in our community, a lot of support, a lot of partnerships. I think the theme from today, my walk away, was exposure. We heard students talking about, we heard the high school present about exposing our kids to things that they want, things that they have expressed, and maybe some things that they didn't even know existed. Exposure is one of the key catalysts to closing the equity gap. And I want to thank the board for allowing us that space to continue to expose our students, our families, our staff to a lot of innovative opportunities so that we can continue to grow.
Thank you.
I was fibbing. I have one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
We held a listening session with staff, and I just want to thank Dr. Graham for your support in that.
Of course.
And to the staff members that came out and spoke, and Courtney for going along with most of my crazy ideas. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Any committee reports? Second hearing of the public? Our next board meeting is our organizational board meeting, which will be followed by the regular board meeting on January 13th at 5 o'clock here in the board meeting room. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Roll call.
Mrs. Washington.
Yes.
Mr. Sturgill.
Yes.
Mrs. Nazario.
Yes.
Mr. Ferguson.
Yes.
Appreciate your